So Boohoo stock, what a move that has had this morning. The stock is up nearly 20% off the trading update this morning. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through that trading update and just give my thoughts and my updated thoughts on Boohoo and that trading update. And just a little bit of shout out, if any of you guys managed to start buying some shares in Boohoo and your average is in that 60p range right now, I am very jealous of you today. But yeah, we're going to go on to Boohoo and my thoughts on the current trading update. So I hope that's okay and we'll take a look. So as you can see, Boohoo has shot up a lot this morning. The stock is up 18%. It's going in and out a little bit. I think there's a little bit of short covering going on at the moment, so that's why the stock is jumping in and out a little bit. But still, even if it's up 16%, 20%, I think that on Trading 212 at the moment is showing up as being up 20% at the moment. Whatever it is up, it is a very good move in the right direction for Boohoo and moving into that 90p range, which we've not seen for a very long time. Now the actual trading update, we'll go through this and then I'll give my thoughts on it. Boohoo trading update. Boohoo provides an update for the 3 and 12 months ended 28th of February 2022. The group has delivered net sales growth in the fourth quarter of 7%, 2-year growth 48%, and over the full year of 14%. 2-year growth 61%, in line with guidance in the fourth quarter. So yep, the guidance was in line with what was expected, which is absolutely fine. Gross sales growth was strong, plus 29% versus last year and 57% versus 2 years ago. As expected, net sales growth in the quarter was impacted by higher returns rates year on year due to product mix. So we heard about this a while ago. There's when the products that Boohoo are selling a lot more of now are like your going out clothes, and they're getting returned a lot more, and we knew that was a jump up in what it has been previously to a lot of the like leisure gear. So we knew that this return rate was going to hit their margins and most of the numbers, so we knew that was coming. It was mentioned previously. This is expected to continue in the first half of financial year 23. In the UK, the group continues to deliver a strong trading performance with our leading proposition resonating with customers. International performance continues to be impacted by longer customer delivery times as a result of pandemic-related supply chain pressures. So we've seen this before in the last kind of news that we got. Boohoo gave us really good numbers for the UK side of it, but international-wise, they were pretty weak numbers. They're having a lot of issues with the supply chain, the costs, and how long it was taking to get the products out there. So there's not much improvement in this area. However, in the fourth quarter, the group saw a return to growth in rest of the world due to positive contribution from wholesale. So the rest of the world is starting to move in the right direction. So sounds like the US is still not improving that much. At the same time, it doesn't sound like it's getting worse, but the rest of the world is starting to move back in the right direction, which is a positive. Those are two areas that we do need Boohoo to carry on improving at. The group expects, subject to audit, to report adjusted EBITDA for the financial year ended 28th of August 2022 of approximately 125 million, in line with prior guidance issued in December, once again meeting expectations and market expectations. Company complied consensus adjusted EBITDA for financial year of 125 million. There's also a little statement here from John Little, which said the group has delivered strong growth over the last 2 years, which has translated into significant market share gains. We are confident that the pandemic-related headwinds are short-term in their nature, and our focus is to ensure the business is well positioned for growth as these headwinds ease. They also said there's going to be a notice of full year results, which their full year results is going to be on the 4th of May 2022. So overall, the trading update didn't contain too much information, just that they were basically coming out and saying everything's pretty much going as we kind of expected it to, which is positive, because a lot of the fear out there is the moment that Boohoo is just struggling and they're spiraling, and a lot of people thought there was going to be another profit warning in this trading update, which didn't happen. So it was basically Boohoo going, yeah, everything's kind of where we were at and it's not getting any worse, which is the positive. In terms of trading update though, there wasn't the reason why probably we're seeing a share price jump is because we've just had so much negativity out there that for Boohoo to finally come out and say, oh yeah, it's not getting any worse at the moment, that's why it's probably relaxed a lot of investors at the moment. And in terms of trading update as well, there wasn't actually that much information in the trading update. Normally we have quite a bit more of a breakdown in the trading update, so that was something that I did notice from that point of view. But it's good to see that still revenue is moving in the right direction. It was all in line, 7% in Q4 and 14% for the full year. And like I said, I think one of the big things that I was going into is seeing is there going to be an outlook change, and we're going to see outlook get worse going forward, but it seems like everything's still in line. And like I said, we'll probably get a bit more detail on how that's improving and what they're expecting going forward on the 4th of May. So I guess like you said, it comes down to, I guess, why was the jump happening? Well, what I was just kind of mentioning there is the negativity and the valuation. So the big thing is Boohoo at the moment, there's just so much negativity out there. Boohoo is basically at the moment getting priced that it's looking towards bankruptcy levels. That's how low Boohoo was getting priced. We were talking, it was entering the 60p range a few days ago. That is unbelievable to see a stock that was valued at £4 go down to 60p and the drop off that it's had. And when you have all this negativity at the moment, a lot of people going into these earnings report going, Boohoo are going to come out with another profit warning. They're going to come out and warn us that it's going to get a lot worse. And just because the share price has been going so low, and there was all that negative priced in, for Boohoo to actually go, no, we're pretty much doing what we said we were going to do, that was like, whoa, that's unbelievably good. And then you start considering, okay, when a lot more of that negativity starts fading, when Boohoo start moving back in the right direction, you've seen that, like, this is kind of like a glimpse into the future for Boohoo. That's what one little okay piece of news does, and you've got to remember we know how low we're being valued. When Boohoo comes out to carry on posting positive news, when the rest of the world carries on moving in the right direction, when the US moves in the right direction, when a lot of these logistic issues, which is the main problem for Boohoo at the moment, when a lot of these logistic issues calm down, you imagine what impact that's going to be have on the stock. This is Boohoo just coming out and saying, yeah, things aren't getting much worse. When things actually start recovering, which there was a little bit about that in John Little's statement there in that trading update, you think about what impact that's going to be having the share price. This very easily can start moving in that right direction. So yeah, you've gone, I think the big thing why here is you've had the negativity happen, and so much negativity, and for Boohoo just to go, not even like blow people away, just go, yeah, it's all going okay again. That's probably what's caused a bit of the jump. And the thing is, well, is like I said, the valuation, you look at Boohoo, the share price is the lowest it's ever been since 2014. All the metrics are, not, quite low for Boohoo. They're at historic low metrics. And when you combine that all together, this is, like I said, when you have a stock that just brings okay news out, and then you're valuing it at crazy, nearly going to bankruptcy levels, you are going to have that jump in the share price. The other thing as well is the short side of it. At the moment, obviously, Boohoo is very, very shorted. So when Boohoo is down at these valuations, and you even have some okay news come out, that's going to send the share price up. And what has happened is, because there's so many shorts now piled on into Boohoo, all of a sudden you have a little bit of a news and that stock starts creeping up. What are the shorts doing? The shorts are going, oh, this ain't good. What we're going to have to do is either, close our positions, we start covering our positions, and that also adds to it, because we know Boohoo is, Boohoo and the Hook Group are two of the UK's most shorted stocks out there, and that's also probably helping with some of the jump in the share price today. And the last point is that, this trading update kind of came out and still confirmed what we knew, is what we talked about on this channel, is that Boohoo's still a great company. It's still a very good company. You're valuing Boohoo now that potentially, it's starting to get valued that, okay, could Boohoo actually go bankrupt at these sort of prices? That's what its investors are valuing Boohoo at. But then you start looking at the numbers from here, and, even if, worst, your Q4, it grew 7%. Even if Boohoo grew 7% year over year going forward, and the valuation Boohoo is at, it's actually still a cheap stock, and you're probably still going to make money on it. Sure, the upside is obviously going to be a lot more limited, but 7% growth at what Boohoo is valued at is still very cheap. And let's not forget that this year they grow at 14%. Then you start talking about, well, if they grow at 14%, it's still massively undervalued, even at 14%. If they grow 14% year over year at these sort of valuations, this company is still way undervalued, and you'll still have a lot of money to potentially make on this investment. And then you start running the facts on, well, when the US side of it comes back, when the rest of the world starts coming back, and if Boohoo get back to where I think personally they'll get to, which is 20 to 30% revenue growth. If Boohoo start getting to 20% or 30% revenue growth, this is where we start talking about where I made the video the other day where I said Boohoo has the potential to 3x to 5x. That's where you start talking. But even at 7% and 14%, at 7% revenue growth year over year, this company still easily trades at a high £1 range. At 14%, you easily start talking, this stock is still going to be valued at £2, £3. When they start talking about 20, 30% revenue growth, that's when this stock will start getting back to the point of view where it's £3, £4, £5, £6, £7, £8 in the longer term. So, this is the thing with the valuation that it's at right now. And it's the same on the profit side of it. The company's still going to put in amounts of profit. Obviously, it's been affected because of the returns and the logistic issues. But you start thinking, this is now, a lot of that is priced at peak worse numbers that they could be. And you start thinking, well, what happens in the next coming a couple of months if these headwinds, what happens if they kind of flatline? What happens if they start decreasing a little bit? And they start decreasing a little bit, that's obviously going to help the stock as well. So this is the thing with where Boohoo is at, really. It's at a position now where there was just so much, there is a lot of negativity around Boohoo, so much negativity, and because of that negativity being priced in at the moment, this is where we're at the point of view where any kind of good news is helping the share price. It's saying, like, if you go back to 12 months ago when we had stocks going crazy valuations, it was starting to get to the point where any sort of good news and the stock kind of stopped move. It didn't go up, it would go down, because we're that highly priced on a lot of the stocks. And then you would need unbelievable earnings, like 11 out of 10 earnings for the stock even to move up 3-4%, because there was that much positivity already priced into the stock. Boohoo's now, we're at the other end of the cycle where Boohoo is now priced at so much negativity that people went into this trading update thinking there was going to be a profit warning, and they come out and say, no, we're pretty much in line with what we're expected. In fact, it's probably the higher end of our guidance. Everyone's like, oh, okay, that's probably why. And then you also add in everything else, the valuation, the shorts on it. That's the combination coming in here for Boohoo. So yeah, overall, the trading update, it was okay. I'm not going to say it was unbelievable and I'm so impressed and it was the best thing I've ever seen. It wasn't. It was just an okay trading update. And, normally you wouldn't see too much of a share price reaction off it. But like I said, I think it's just that combination of all them things coming together why we're seeing the jump really today. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the update on Boohoo. And yeah, if you could hit the like button, that's absolutely amazing. If you're new, subscribe. And I'll see you next video.